Howdy guys, welcome to another Subatomicons video, and this one is going to be a little bit interesting. So in this video, we will be discussing what would happen if 5 CSGO characters went against 5 Valorant characters. Brody and I have been thinking about this one for a little while now, and we came up with a few different scenarios. Also, just to note, this video is not based on like players versus other players, it's more based on the concept of the 5 characters on each team and how well equipped they would be to take out the other 5 characters of the other game. So first, let's start off with a few ground rules. So we came up with the decision that the heavy armor, such as the helmet and the vest in CSGO and the full armor buy in Valorant, will be the same across both games. We've also decided that the light armor in CSGO would be the same as it is in the game, and the light armor in Valorant would also be the same as it is in that game. We've also decided that the guns do the same to the other game like they do in their own game. For example, the AK is still a one-shot headshot to the head, and the Marshall is still a one-shot to the chest with no armor on, and stuff like that. So we actually came up with 4 different scenarios. The first scenario is Ults enabled 5v5 Valorant map. The second scenario is Ults enabled 5v5 CSGO map. The third scenario is no Ults 5v5 Valorant map. And finally, the fourth scenario is no Ults 5v5 CSGO map. So without further ado, let's kick off this epic battle. So let's start with the first scenario, which is Ults enabled 5v5 Valorant map. Brody and I decided to give this dub to Valorant for a few different reasons. So for the first and one of the most obvious reasons is the Valorant maps are more designed for the Valorant characters and not the CSGO characters. So when it comes to using Valorant abilities and other things such as the ultimates, it's simply just in their territory. So the second reason we decided that the Valorant characters would win in this scenario is that CSGO characters, they just wouldn't know where to throw smoke grenades and mollies and flashes. The map is simply not designed for their equipment like that, and they would also not have good spots to plant the bomb. Like, they wouldn't know where to hold it, such as, say, for example, on Dust 2, when you can plant the bomb for a pit. They wouldn't have anything like that, really. So the final reason we believe the Valorant characters would win in this scenario is their ultimates. Now, the abilities in Valorant are already powerful, but if you combine them with the ultimates, it just makes them way more powerful. If you take Cypher, for example, he can place his camera down and then shoot the dart at an enemy, and then they'll be spotted. So then you could take Sova and shoot his ultimate through the walls to kill the enemy. So the Valorant characters in their own territory, with their ultimates, they simply would just blow the CSGO characters out of the water in this scenario. And with the CSGO characters, it really just comes down to the fact that no matter how much better I think their weapons are, which I'll get to in a little bit, they simply don't have anything such as ultimates. I'm sure there are more reasons, and I am more than sure that you guys will let us know in the comments, but this is what we came up with for why Valorant characters would win with ults enabled on a Valorant map. So now we shall move on to our next scenario, which is Valorant maps with ults disabled. So we couldn't actually decide a winner for this scenario, so we just went with either or. While the Valorant characters would be in their own territory in this scenario, they wouldn't have their ults, which was a huge advantage for them in the last one. If you look at the equipment in Valorant, it's based on the individual character you're playing, such as how Phoenix is the only one with the curveball flash grenades, while in CSGO anyone can have either a molly, smoke, flash, or a frag grenade. So this is kind of balanced out though, because Valorant characters have agents such as Cypher or Sova that can detect enemies, and Valorant also has characters such as Sage that can heal you, but I don't believe that that's very important because most of the time in CSGO, you're either getting one-tapped or you're dying in that gunfight that you're in. The Valorant characters also have the home field advantage in this one, so their equipment would be much more effective than the CSGO characters because the map is designed for those Valorant characters rather than the CSGO characters. One advantage of the CSGO characters in this scenario, though, are the guns. In our opinion, the CSGO guns, for the most part, are superior to the Valorant guns. If you take a gun such as the Ghost, for example, you have to pay $500 for that in Valorant. But in CSGO, you get the USP, and it's basically a free Ghost. So you also have weapons such as the AK, which in my opinion outshines the Vandal, and you also have the Op in CSGO, which is way better than the Operator in Valorant. I've seen way too many nasty flicks with the Op in CSGO and far too few of them in Valorant to say that the Operator is better than the Op. So the guns in CSGO, in my opinion, are far superior to the guns in Valorant. So we actually had to call it a draw on this one because the Valorant characters, they have their home field advantage and they also have their abilities to detect enemies, but on the CSGO side of things, they have the ability for each character to have multiple types of equipment as well as better firepower. Now for the third scenario, we have Ults enabled 5v5 CSGO map, and we actually gave this victory to CSGO. Now, we gave this victory to CSGO simply for the fact that their weapons are better, as we've discussed. Their equipment will be way more versatile on their map. So you have stuff such as smoke grenade spots and molly spots and different places you can throw the flash grenades, and the Valorant characters, their abilities, they would still be very good on CSGO maps, such as Brimstone smokes would be pretty overpowered, but there's also other abilities such as Phoenix's curveball grenades that just wouldn't be as effective on a CSGO map. So this one really just comes down to CSGO characters having the home field advantage, and they also have better weapons and a more wide variety of equipment to use for each character. Now this would be a very close matchup due to ultimates such as Sage's Revive and Cypher's ability to detect enemies on dead bodies, but we don't think it would be enough to defeat the CSGO characters with their superior weaponry and equipment. And look, we didn't do any super scientific digging to find the evidence on which weapons are better in each game, so don't be in the comments gremlining like, You didn't do research and Valorant weapons are clearly superior. Well, this is just our opinion, and this is what we've seen from playing many hours of both games. So yeah, on to the next scenario. Now the final scenario is Valorant characters versus Counter-Strike characters on the CSGO maps. And the obvious winner here would be the Counter-Strike characters for us, because of all the reasons we listed before, minus the ultimates on the Valorant side. So without Valorant ultimates and only their equipment, the CSGO characters would absolutely pub stomp on them. No doubt about it. Don't even debate me. It's true. And yeah, I will state again that the CSGO characters have better weapons, they have better use of their abilities on their own map, homeland advantage, and some would even argue that CSGO characters move quicker than Valorant characters, obviously besides Jet when she can dash and stuff. But yeah, that is the reason why the CSGO characters would easily defeat the Valorant characters on their own maps with no ults. So yeah, that'll conclude this video. Don't take anything we say too seriously because we didn't really do research on it. But we just wanted to throw this cool idea out there and have some fun, and please let us know in the comments what you guys think. I have a feeling that people will greatly differ in their opinions, so it'll be interesting to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, let us know. And yeah, see you later.